All right, here we go. So what I'm gonna do is I have the bearings in the freezer right now, because you do have to shrink the bearings since these are really these are press fit. Okay. Then we'll heat this up with the heat gun, and then we're going to use this seal press. Where's that? This one. This seal press to punch it the rest of the way in. Okay. So stand by. There, the races go towards the outside, not the inside. It should be open so it can oil the ball bearings easier. And that went in without a hitch. So now we go over to this one. Alright, so here we go. We're about to put this crank in here. So I like to soak my case gasket in some mixed fuel to kind of expand it a little bit. And that'll help it's get a good seal. I'm trying to kind of get this to line up here because it's not lining up perfectly. Oh well, it'll be fine. I can adjust it closer to. I can adjust it closer to the drawing the cases together. All right. Where is my other? I'm trying to find my other crescent wrench. Of course, you know, when I'm looking for it, it's not there, so I'll use a I'll use the trusty channel locks here. Alright, so to set this thing up, you gotta find, see, we're putting the PTO side in first, so this is the PTO side. And see, it screws on like that. But what you gotta do is you insert until you get the crank in as far as it'll go. You put your stop in there. And you screw this down. And this little spacer is so this will spin while it's pushed up against this. So that needs to be on there like so. And then the outside is left-hand thread, so you screw that down on there. As far as it'll go. Alright. Then you tighten everything up. And you essentially hold one. See if I can hold that with channel locks. And then rotate the other. And that starts, and that will pull the crank in. And you got to be sure not to do that, what I just did. So now I gotta undo everything because I can't get that. Don't do that. Don't, let's see, what do they say? Don't do as I do, do as I say. So yeah, don't do that. I do not suggest it. Which it'll be an easy fix because all we'll do is we'll just pull that off, screw this back on, and then we'll just tap that crank back out to where I can get this around like that. And then set it up again. Remember, do as I say, not as I do. Spoken like a true dad, right? Then once I get this assembled, we'll go ahead and put the cases in. The seals in. Be the littlest. That's why the two crescent wrenches are so good. Because it takes a little bit to finagle this enough, pull it in enough that the connecting rod won't bind up anymore. Alright, I think I'm good now. Alright. I had a guy I work with, he's from Kentucky. Anytime we would get something going and start moving on it, he would always say, "We're cooking with gas now." I always thought that was the funniest saying. Cooking with gas. Should be about almost there. Yeah, pretty much. I have holes here for mounting stuff. Back that off and hold that down and take that off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to halfway assemble the other side there. There we are. See how quick and easy that was? It doesn't take long to set up either. So now, what we're going to do, I think, is I have these here. To just line up my holes. There we go. And you just put it on like that. Okay. Alright. Now you set everything back up again. Except now you use the 8x1 instead of 14 by 1.25. You essentially do the same thing. You just screw it in. I got a couple things I need to put a insert in that right there. That tied in all the way, tightened down all the way. Okay. Now it's just the same thing. Except now instead of turning this one, you're turning this one up here. I think, or maybe not. Oh wait, yeah you are. You're just turning it the opposite way. Like so. And go back down and check. Make sure everything's still in good, still lined up good. And once you start getting down close to where these tabs are, you're going to want to make sure your everything is lined up properly. So these are just like 1/4 inch studs that I used for my my grinder over there, but you can order these from McMaster Car and you can get them in the same thread pitch as the case, so you can screw them in there, right, and it'll be sturdy and they won't wiggle around like these do. But it's really just for referencing your crankcase gasket. Or it's really for just indexing, not referencing, but indexing your crankcase gasket. Still need to be able to get to that one. That went in good. That's going in good. Alright. couple more cranks, but once those index pins are in, you're pretty much good to go. Which my index locator pins are in, so I can take these out now. These are just to help guide everything into place. They're just threaded rods is all they are. See? Now we just got to finish drawing it together. So what I'll do is figure out how to get this thing off here first. Then what I'll do is we'll put this back on here and center the crank. Just in case I need to tap the other side. But we need to put our case bolts in first, so that's what I'm about to do now. If I can remember where I'll put them at. They're right there. Right there. Gotta love it. And you will want to tighten these down in a what I would call a lug nut pattern. Very similar to how you would put a wheel back on. So what I would do is I would get everything around the crank tight and then tighten the other two. So I'm going to start down here, turn, 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 torque, 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 turn, turn, torque, torque, and then just go through and double check, make sure it's super snug. Alright, now we're going to see how she turns. Kind of look at the crank here. I got a little bit more on. I'm looking at the bell of the crank here. I'll show you. It's looking like there's a little bit more on that right side. Than the left side. I guess it's just a matter of perspective, isn't it? But we can always measure with a shim to double check ourselves, or a feeler gauge to double check ourselves. I have a 20 and a 30 thousandths here. I'll use this 20. Alright, we'll check the 30, because the 30 is probably going to be what I'm looking more along the lines of what I'm looking for. See, I can fit the 30 in there. But I can't fit it at all on the left side, so I'm going to pop that. Be sure I get my different split. Okay, it's starting to snug up on this side now. Alright. Now it won't go in this side or that side. It's still just a little off. Alright, that should be perfect. Alright, that'll work. Alright. Crank is good. Now we're going to install the seals. Find my Vaseline spoon. I like to put Vaseline on the my buddy Cody Mize taught me that. Put Vaseline on there, and on this side I think there's a no, I don't have to use the, doesn't look like I have to use the soda pop trick. Alright, so if there was a shoulder on here that you'd have to get around to get a lip seal over, You roll it up like that and stick it through the seal. Stick it through the center of that seal. And then the little end up top, right, the big end on the bottom, you would slip that over to get over that shoulder and then drive that seal down over it. Super easy. Let's try these my Vaseline spoon. Let's see if I can't get these put in here. Alright, so that's the PTO side. Yeah. Alright. So what I do is I take a little bit of Vaseline and just put it on the this inner lip here. It's just to help it seal and help with the installation. And then we take the seal press, push it down. And simple as that. Same with the other side. Put my Vaseline on it. Good for many, many things. I was told by an ENT one time to put it just inside my nose because I was having issues. I got smoked in the face with a skateboard when I was in college. You can see the scars going across my nose, and it jacked some stuff up in there. And I've been told that I'm gonna have to have some work done eventually, because it's closing up. I don't have much up there in the way of an opening. Every morning I wake up, I'm stopped up, and it takes a while to clear up. So there we go. Seals installed. Super simple. Takes all of the guesswork out of it, and it's super duper super comfortable, you know what I mean? So that, ladies and gentlemen, women and children, is how you put together a bottom end. So I'm going to be test fitting everything up, so I know how much I need to get taken off the piston. Then I'm going to have to get in touch with my neighbor who has the lathe, and I'm gonna get him to do some machine work on the piston. So till then, y'all have a good one. We'll catch you next time. Alright, so I just want to end this video. Yes, it's taking at a different time, different clothes, the bench is clean, but I just wanted to show you something. So these tools, if you want a set of these tools, HL Supply sells them. I'll put the links for their tool page, and it's not just these case assembly tools, it's all kinds of tools in the description. And I also put another little thing down there in the description. But I wanted to show you this because this case puller, or this crank puller, is pretty versatile. So this is a Dolmar case, and I realized this the other day. The thread pitch for this puller is M8 by 1. Now that pitch is used a lot on these 60-70 cc cranks. Doesn't matter what manufacturer. I think I got an 046 crank stuffed in here. Yeah. Alright, so here's an 046 crank right here. Let's see if that fits. Swap hands. Okay, so no, it's not fitting on the or is it? No, look at there. Fits on the 046 crank as well. Alright, it doesn't work for the clutch side, but see that's where it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to work for this side, because you can cool this crank off and you can get the cases set up and you can get the PTO side set first, and then you can pull the cases together with the flywheel side of the crank. So technically you would be able to use this assembly tool for just about any major manufacturer, because this is the cup that it pulls together with. It's got a nice evenly machined lip right there, and as long as there's a solid it can get a solid purchase, then you can pull the cases together. Now I can't remember what steel cases look like, but all you would have to get is a big washer to put down over it for this thing to rest on, and then you can pull the cases together. You just set the PTO side first, get everything lined up, and then pull the PTO side case and crank into the flywheel side case and crank. So I got unfortunately, one of my saws, the buck and stock saw, has a leak in the crankcase, so I'll be getting it back and I'm gonna be pulling this thing apart to replace the crankcase gasket. And literally all I'm gonna do is split it and pull this half off, clean everything, and then use this puller to pull the two cases back together. So that's coming up in the near future. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Go check out HL Supply. The links will be down below. There's lots of good tools there, and they're at more than reasonable prices. Y'all have a good one.